Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today is hashtag cathysowinghappiness, in which we'll have our drawing at the end of the video for our happy mail. I have my playing cards here. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with our playing cards and we're going to be making vintage style gift tags, journaling cards, or pockets. There's lots of things that you can do with these. Now here are some that I have made, and I decided to make these into gift tags. So as you can see, they're very vintage looking. And on this side, you would place who it's to and who it is from. I think they've turned out really cute. And then here's one with the heart. Now I did sew around the outside of mine. I love to sew paper, and so I did. I think this one might be my favorite. I love that big butterfly on there. I had to clean my stamp because it was getting kind of messed up. Now this is the stamp that I used. Stamp Abilities, it says 2011. Now I purchased this at the thrift store, so I don't even know if it's still offered or not, but that's the stamp I used. And what I want to do first is I want to bring in my cards, and I have already inked up the edge of these, and I've already used a little bit of gesso on this one. The gesso that I used was this one, and I also have some gold paint. I love this gold paint. Folk art, enamels, metallic gold. I have different colors of gold, and so you can pick these up inexpensively at Walmart or the craft shop. I have a flat brush here, and what I want to do is take my gesso that I've already placed into my little paint dish, and I'm just going to put it on to my card here, my playing card, and I'm just excuse me, going to place it on just like this, just here and there. I'm not going to be picky about how I go about doing it. It helps in a couple of ways. It takes off the brightness of it, and it also helps when you glue things onto your playing card. Playing cards have a little bit of a waxy surface, and it just helps so much for the glue to grab a hold and stay put and keep what you want on there. So I've already done the gesso on this one. I'm going to place it into my water, and now what I'd like to do is I'm going to lay them out this way. I think I only want, I'll use this one. I only want 3. Actually, I just want 2. Okay, I just want 2. So I have some coffee dyed paper that I've already torn, and it's torn in about the same size as the card, but a little shorter. I'm going to take off this corner. I want my number to show just a little bit, just to show that it is a playing card. I don't want to take away the fact that it's a playing card. And because I've torn this, I'm going to highlight it right here like this. Now you can use a glue stick if you want. I prefer to use my wet glue, which happens to be art glitter glue. And I'm going to glue on my paper just like this, pulling it down so it shows my number 6. And just getting it on there. I'm going to do the exact same thing to this one right here. So adding my glue and placing it so you can see that it's number 7. All right, so we've got that on there. And you can see that it's not like totally covering. It's very, torn. Just tear it how you can. So let's turn it back onto this side. Well, actually, let's go back here. If you're going to make it like I made mine, and you're going to do to and from, then you would want to stamp it at this time. Now, maybe you don't have a stamp like this. Maybe you just have the letters. You could still put the letters and it would be just as cute. You could also sew this if you like sewing. You could sew it at this time. And actually, for this to all, work together, I am going to go ahead and sew these two. So the next thing is that I have some little pieces of fussy cuts. I have different things. I have botanicals. I have a little bunny. I have some Tim Holtz little people. I have some mushrooms. So just an assortment. And just decide how you want to place it and what you want it to look like. Well, maybe you could use a couple things, or maybe you could just do one. Well, that's kind of pretty together. That's very pretty together. You could turn it this way, or you could turn it this way. Either way will work out wonderful. Let me see if I can pick this up. So maybe you have some Tim Holtz people and you want to use them up. So let's do this. Let's do that combination right there. I'm going to set these over to the side. I have some tracing paper right here. I have another sheet right here that's a little bigger. What you'll want to do is you'll want to place your, whatever it is that you're deciding to decorate, that's going to need a little bigger piece, decorate your playing card with. And I have already inked up these pieces. And I'm going to glue this onto my tracing paper. It's coffee dyed tracing paper, and I want to glue it so that the tracing paper is still, there's quite a lot left still around, because we're going to tear our tracing paper around our image. So I'm going to pop this one over here like this, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to, do I want to glue that on there now? Yeah, I better glue that on there now. So I'm just going to glue it on like that. Yeah, I think that looks really cool on there. I'm going to start tearing, and I'm going to tear around the image right here that I've selected. What a wonderful sound, right? I love this crinkly sound. All right, now you're going to have to see, is that too much or not enough? I think it's a little bit too much on the top. So let me see if I can get it torn down here. And a little bit too much at the bottom. Yeah, that one doesn't look too bad like that. So then let's work on this one. Tear it down so it's a more manageable size. And just tearing this around. Okay, let's see. How is this? That's really way too big. So let's see if I can get it closer. I think this is probably the hardest part of the whole thing. Seeing if you can get it real close to your image that you've chosen. So a little bit more off the top. Without, you still want your tracing paper to be seen. Now, because I've inked my little pieces here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my sponge, and I'm going to darken the outside of my tracing paper. Now I like to use frayed burlap. That's what I've been using here for quite a while now. And inking this up. There we go. Now we've got that inked up. Now what I'd like to do is place it on here in the way that you'd like. So I want one to go up and down and one to go the long ways here. And I'm going to glue this on. So adding my glue onto the back and just popping it where you would like it to be. maybe about right there. Okay, getting that glued down. And then we're going to glue this one down. Have her sit straight. I've got her glued down. Now, the gold paint here. This is where I'm going to just get some on my brush, and I'm just going to put it here and there. It's kind of what I like to do with this gold. Just here and there. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Now, it dries very fast. Well, you know, you don't have to hurry because it's going to dry so fast, but it's not going to stay wet for a long time, especially if you really brush it out. So it's just a thin layer, just to give it a little sheen. That's what you're, what you're doing. You're just giving it a little sheen. Okay, I got this upside down, don't I? Well, it's going to be all right. And it's for a junk journal. It'll be fine. Or a tag. And even if it's for a tag, it'll be just fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. Nothing about junk journaling is perfect. All right, so I'm just going to put it on here like that. Put this into my container so it doesn't dry out. I'm going to wipe this off quickly here. I've got a little bit of, let me move this out of the way. I've got some ruffles. Now, I went ahead and sewed this on my machine. So the ruffles are like this. See if I can hang on to this and show you. There, it's like that. I did sew it on my machine. This one, I sewed it right on my card, so it was completely, you know, straight like this. And I just pleated it onto my card and sewed it. If you don't have a sewing machine, you would want to take your glue and you'd want to do that pinching method that I've shown you so many times. So you could do it different ways depending on, you know, how you want to do it. So on this one, I want to add this ruffle right down here. Doesn't that just change the total look of that completely? So because I've already sewn this, so I couldn't take you over to my machine and show you how that looks doing it. So I sewed it on my machine separate. We're just going to glue this right on there, just like that, and then trim. Pick it up here. Give it a trim. Just like that. And then this one we're going to make this way. So I'm going to pop on my glue. Now I'm using hot glue because it's quick and easy and it's really great for videos, you guys. Because once I glue it, it's glued and I don't have to wait for it to dry. And I can keep on going with what I want to show you. Now, I have some eyelets here. And what I want to do is I want to pop a hole in the corner. So I'm going to use my standard hole punch. And I'm going to pop a hole right here. And then I'm going to pop a hole right here. Now, I tend to do it on the right hand side, and I think it's because I'm right-handed. But you can put it on any side. You can put it in the middle if you want. Now, these gold ones, I haven't used gold in my little selection that I have different colors of eyelets. And these gold ones, I'm going to tell you, have been messing up. I think they're not quite, something's not quite right about them. I'm not sure if this will work for me or if I'll have to do it again. Well, it knew it was on camera. Nope. Did it work? Nope. See, look, it came right off. So I don't know what the deal is. I've changed my settings, but there's something to do. Something is going awry with them, but I just kept doing it, and then I finally got it to work for me on the ones of my examples that I was showing you. I'll do it one more time on camera. Yep, this time it worked. This time it's not going to come off. That's just so strange. I don't know. I've never had or have not had trouble with the other color eyelets, but the gold ones are giving me a little bit of trouble. I'm going to put this one on off camera, and then I'm going to show you what I did on my next step. All right, so I got them on. This one just went on very easily, no problem. I have some flat back pearls, and I want to go ahead and add them to my lace. So let me pull these out right here. I need to turn them over so I can pick them up. And I'm going to add just a little dab of glue and place these little flat back pearls in the center of my glue and get them stuck down. I just think that's a pretty little addition. And I'm going to do the exact same thing over here, and placing a little dab of glue and then placing my pearl in the center, just like that. Oh, I think that really is sweet. Now I have some crinkled seam binding from my scrap cabin shop, and I would like to use that to finish decorating these. All right, so if you're making these into a gift tag, you have already stamped the back, and you're going to need some kind of string to be able to tie it onto your gift. So I just use this string right here, and the label is Lisbeth, H.H. Lisbeth, size 3. It's Egyptian cotton. It's a cording. And I'm pretty sure I bought it in the sewing department at Hobby Lobby, probably. Now, I have my beautiful crinkled seam binding from my scrap cabin shop. You guys, there is a coupon down below if you're interested in getting some of this beautiful crinkled seam binding. She has so many lovely colors. So pop on over to her shop, Erin, and select some for yourself. That's really easy to use. Now I'm going to feed my seam binding through the hole in which we punched and put an eyelet. Now if you don't have an eyelet, you can always just put a saver, a hole saver, and it will give you that same look. And I'm just tying a bow on here. Now these that I'm making with you today, I'm going to be using for a journaling card or possibly a tuck spot. And if you want to use it for a tuck spot, of course you would just be gluing down your 3 sides, and then you would be able to use it as a pocket. So that would be really fun to use in your journal. And I'm going to cut myself some of this beautiful white. I thought because of the white ruffle on the bottom and her dress, which is kind of an off-white, the white might be really pretty with this one. So there's so many options that you can do with this little process of altering your playing cards. I also have some very small safety pins, and I'm going to just pop it right there in the center of the bow, just for some added something. I just think it really looks sweet. Now that's how this one has turned out, just like that. And then the little Tim Holtz girl on there, and of course the back. So I think they're wonderful no matter how you decide to make them. Let's bring in our fishbowl, and this is about you helping me spread happiness through simple acts of kindness, letting someone in line at the grocery store because you have 20 items and they have 2. Letting someone in line of traffic. I love doing this one and receiving this, but you must be careful, you guys. Please only let one person in line. If you do more than one, you're going to make the people behind you angry, and that's not spreading happiness. If you'd like to enter into the drawing, which you would receive happy mail if you send me your address and I pull your name out of the fishbowl. In the most recent Cathy Sewing Happiness, you need to tell me your act of kindness towards another person. If you wish not to say that, that's okay too. Just type in spreading happiness and that will be your entry. If you enter it this week, please check back next week because that's when your name will be in the fishbowl and we're going to see who has won. So all the instructions are down below. Please don't say congratulations, blah, 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 for winning because some people unfortunately only look at the comments to see if they've won. They may see that they've won, they get all excited, they forget they're supposed to give me their address, I don't send them their happy mail, I don't have their address, and they get upset because they know they've won the happy mail. But you guys, you got to send me your address, okay? So who has won happy mail this week from me to you as my way of paying it forward? There, finally grabbed one. All right, who is on this piece of paper? Goodness gracious. Nell Magnera, Magnera. Nell, you won happy mail from me to you as my way of paying it forward. You guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.